I'm Nadeed, obviously.
So today we're going to talk about the most important things in the brand called You and the four social styles.
Yep. And to explain the picture, this cat was just a regular cat without the bread. But you can see something as silly as, putting bread on your head can differentiate you. So it's all about branding. So.
Alright, so what are brands? Brands are everywhere. So as soon as we see a check mark on a shoe, what is that? What brand does come to mind? Nike. Okay, same with half-eaten apple, right? That reminds everyone of the apple. So a brand defines you to everyone else. Companies are great at cultivating brands, and good branding increases the demand for a company's products.
Yeah, and I know some of these brands might not look super familiar to most of y'all, but at least we can all agree that we all know what Unilever is. Does anybody happen to know what Unilever is, by the way? What is it?
It is, they have multiple different products, but Johnson & Johnson, they have those.
Oh, okay, so that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Because that was pretty much the only one that I didn't. Because pretty much everyone knows all of these. McDonald's, fast food, Google search engine. Wrestling.
Panda wrestling.
Extreme panda wrestling.
I'll pay for it.
There's a market for that.
Okay, so the point of this is pretty much wanting to brand yourself. So the pop that we did was actually a really good way of branding yourself. So creating your own brand will be the most important job you have. So why is personal branding important to you? Personal branding will increase demand for you. So all the work that we have been doing in school, putting it out there will kind of differentiate ourselves with the crowd that are out there in the internet world.
Exactly. So personal branding is, it's your own signature. The most valuable thing you're ever going to own is your own name and your own reputation. So even if you're not a corporation, your name is your brand, and you can really you can brand yourself in a lot of different ways, and we'll talk about that. Branding example, my name is just, nothing special, just Naveed Sultan. But like how we discussed earlier, takes it to the next level. Just change a little bit of the name, personal branding. Now that sets me aside from all the other Naveed Sultans at UTD. Let's move forward. So these are the 5 questions to create your own brand. What makes you different? What's your differentiation point? What is your pitch? That's the same thing as what makes you different, but it's in a sense, it's how do you communicate to people what makes you different. You could have a lot of differentiation points, a lot of unique skills, but if you don't know how to communicate it to people, they might, look you over. So part of your differentiation is creating a pitch that people can understand what you have to offer. So it's always really important to create that. The real power of you is you have to really, find out, what your strengths are and use your strengths. Loyalty, like who do you want to be loyal to you? Obviously you don't want to be friends with everybody. You want to be selective with your, with your connections. So, part of your brand is, who do I associate myself with? There's a lot of people where, they're very particular about who they associate themselves with because they don't want, they kind of feel like you are who your friends are. And the future, so defining your future is a really good way to create your own brand just because if you can see yourself doing something, that's going to help you create your brand, where you want to go, what path you want to take. And those are some questions. There's a couple more questions on the next slide that we'll look at. 4 things you're going to measure yourself against. Are you a great teammate or a supportive colleague? Even though you might not be, hardcore differentiated, you might be a really good support person. So that could be part of your brand. Is you're a helpful person. You're not too critical. You mesh well with others. You can organize with other people. Are you an exceptional expert at something that matters? That's a really important thing. Because if you're not, super great at something, it's going to be really hard to, brand yourself. Do you mind pressing the button to lift the thing for a second? This is kind of like my own, like branding equation. I was kind of drawing over here. It's just like a basic chart, and you guys can like disagree with me on this, but it's pretty much a basic X and Y. And Y is going to be how many people can do what you do, and X is how many people care about what you do. So if you pick a job where a lot of people care about what you do and not too many people can do what you do, you're going to make a lot of money because not too many people can do that. So a lot of people bring up the argument, it's really dumb how much an athlete gets paid. Well, according to this, not too many people can throw a football like that, and literally millions of people care about it because they watch football every day. That's why an athlete gets paid a lot of money. I really don't think it has anything to do with like degrees and stuff. Can school help you put you higher on the axis of how many people can do what you do? Yeah, definitely, but it's not the only way to success. If you're trying to find avenues outside of school where you want to succeed, just make sure you're trying to do something that not a lot of people can do and that a lot of people care about. You're going to be successful, if that makes sense. And also, gauge, being a broad gauge visionary. Like I said, visualization is a really important aspect of like your own personal brand and also your own perception of yourself. There are coaches that get paid millions of dollars to teach basketball players how to shoot a free throw. And it's crazy because literally all they're teaching them is themselves visualizing making the free throw. So don't underestimate visualization. Like if you're trying to achieve a goal, you got to see it in your head. Because if you don't see it in your head, no one else is going to see it. So it's really important to visualize yourself and in your brand. It's going to help you understand yourself a lot better. And pragmatic outcomes. Can you see the consequences of a decision that you make? Can you see what all the different branches from each decision ahead of time so that you can make better decisions without making mistakes? But making mistakes is a really good way to learn, and it's not a bad way to brand yourself either.
Okay, so now the second article that we actually posted is the 4 social styles. And over the past 50 years, research has proven that there are 4 distinct personality styles. The first one was the driving style. Driving styles are known for controlling their emotions, focusing on the big picture, speaking assertively. They prefer to be in control, and they're seen as highly efficient and not concerned about relationships or feelings. The next one was the expressive style. They express their emotions, they speak assertively, they enjoy sharing their ideas and perspectives with everyone, and others see them as creative but unfocused. An ambivalent style, they share the emotions, they prefer to ask questions to giving orders, and they feel that relationships, feelings, and personal feelings are important, and they're seen as friendly and warm.
I thought that described Romy pretty well. What did they say about you at work, Romy, that you mentioned?
Oh, a customer told me that I smile too much. Okay. Then it was a bad thing.
The next one is the analytical style. They control their emotions. They tend to ask questions rather than give orders, and they're focused on actions and act deliberately to achieve that end, and others see them as slow-paced and detail-oriented. And now we're on the quiz.
Sure. Would one of you read the quiz questions out loud?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I followed it.
Okay. Number 1, blank increases the demand for a company's products. Number 2, what does good branding do? Number 3, name one of the logos in the PowerPoint. Number 4, name one of the social styles. Number 5, what is a good question to ask when you create your own brand?
Great, thank you.